we had seen the equation, and in the last session we had seen that is refraction on one curved surface. So there was only one curved surface, and we had seen the refraction and the effect of that. From that relation, we had derived an equation which was given as mu2 upon v minus mu1 upon u was equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon r. I hope you remember this equation. Mu2, just to have a small revision out of this was your mu2, mu2, and this was mu1. Mu1 means in this case it's going to be air, and mu2 is going to be glass. So if an object was placed outside the curved surface, so the image would be formed inside the glass, and this would be the radius r. This would be the radius r. So you have mu2 upon v. Now whenever an object is placed and this is considered to be as a pole, so this distance would be, say, maybe u, which would create an image inside. Maybe we can refer to it as v. So you have u, you have v, and r is the radius. So this was the equation on refraction on one curved surface. Now what we are going to have, we have now two curved surfaces, and from two curved surfaces what do we get? We get an object which is called as a lens, right? So this is how we are going to study the equation of lens, and we are going to derive the lens maker's formula based on this equation. When we are going to work with lenses or with refraction on plane surfaces, curved surfaces, mirrors, there is one particular method which is used everywhere in the problems also and in the derivations also. At one time, one particular surface or one particular object is taken. It could be a one curved surface, or it could be two curved surface as a lens. It could be an concave mirror, a convex mirror. And suppose in some particular arrangement more than one such objects are used. More than one such objects are used. That means there is one mirror, then there is one thick parallel slab of glass, and then there is maybe one lens kept in over here. One could be one curved surface, right? And if the ray is made to pass multiple through these different objects, okay, then what would be the nature of the image? Individually we have seen for mirrors how to get the position of the image depending upon the position of the object, right? Whether the object is at infinity or a radius of curvature or a focal point, we have seen all these particular positions to get the result of image. But when I am going to have more than one lenses, right, then it becomes very difficult, because all the lenses together will create one focal length and will decide whether the resultant image is a virtual or real image. That also we would not know. To solve this, there is a particular and a very simple method which is used everywhere. That is, you go one item by item. That is, first you consider a transparent lens. It could be a lens or it could be just one curved surface, whatever. We have studied that individually. So you create an object which will be always at the left hand side. You position that object from the first maybe lens or that particular material. Then you assume that only one such material is there and others are not present in the situation. If that one material is there, it could be mirror or lens or one curved surface, and then you see where the image is going to fall. Now that you should take as a temporary virtual image. Then you should bring the second object in that position. For that position of that image, which is now going to be in position of object for the second object, like means the second mirror or second lens, then again you have to find the position of the image. Then you bring the third object or the third mirror or lens, and that image you consider as an object, distance of the object, and you see where the final image is going to fall. This is called as a chain rule to find the resultant image if there are more than one material or one elements or more than one objects used in a system. Correct? So we are going to make use of the same method, the chain rule, to find the distance of an image of a lens. Now you would say lens is one object. Correct? It is an object after we finalize or after we derive the equation of Lensmaker equation. But till now we have only studied curved mirrors, plane mirrors, and refraction on plane surface and refraction on curved surface. So making use of whatever we have learned up till now, we are going to derive the equation of a lens. So right now a lens is a combination of two curved surfaces. You get me? It's a combination of two curved surface. This is one curved surface and this is another curved surface. Whereas we have done completely the derivation and under explanation of refraction on one curved surface. So we are going to have now two curved surface. So we will use the same chain law, in which in the first curved surface we will find a virtual image. That virtual image should be an object for the second curved surface, and from that we will be able to find the final image from the two curved surfaces, and that would be a Lensmaker's equation which we are going to use throughout our chapter, which we are going to study further. Okay, so let us have a look at this. Along with this lens, purposely I have drawn two curved surfaces, right? So maybe this is R1, so let me represent this as R1. This is R2, so let me represent this as R2. Got it? So this is a lens which is made up of two curved surfaces. Now I am putting an object over here at a distance u from the pole. I am having an object over here at a distance u from the pole. Do not consider this curved surface now. Just consider this curved surface as good as we are doing a derivation of this curved surface. So this u, momentarily redraw this u for this to be over here. Just momentarily, considering this object is front of this curved surface, this object is in the front of this curved surface. So because of this object, what will happen when this object will enter over here? It will produce an image I dash inside, assuming it is full of glass. It is not cut in this particular way. As I have said, first we are going to have a virtual image which is going to produce inside, assuming it is throughout a glass. It's a temporary consideration. So therefore this I dash, as compared to an object array which is coming from here, if this I consider as u, right, then this is going to be, say, v dash. I have split this length into two parts. Okay, so here what am I finding? This is the u of this, that is the u on this curved surface, and I am assuming that this curved surface is continued, like how you can see this fully it is glass. So if it was glass, where would the image come? It would come at this point I dash, and this is where I have shown it as I dash. So the distance is going to be v dash. Are you getting? I have split this into two parts. That is, first it is doing a refraction from one curved surface, and after that it is doing refraction from second curved surface. So from first curved surface, I am taking this object as u and the image as v dash, and this whole thing is like a glass surface, and I dash is a virtual image. So if I replace this in this equation, so this is my mu2 and this is my mu1, because mu2 is the refractive index of the glass which I am using over here. So it is mu2 upon v dash, okay, upon mu1 upon u. So that will be, sorry, minus it is, that will be mu2 minus mu1 upon r, which is on this side. So let us take this as plus. So we have got the basic equation, that is refraction on one curved surface. Okay. Now let us look at this part. The image which was over here is now going to act as an object for the second curve mirror. So that I dash, I will be assuming it over here, which will be V dash now, correct? And now it is in refractive index mu2 and in refractive index mu1. Are you understanding what I am trying to say, right? Now this virtual image, a temporary image I have taken inside a glass, let that be now as an object inside the curved surface. Now this is going to go and going to form an image which will be equal to V. V means exactly this, which will create an image at I, that means this I, which actually I want to get for a complete lens, that is the combination of these two curved surfaces. Are you able to understand how I am trying to get the equation for the lens? So now in this, what am I going to use? So it's going to be mu2 is your second surface. This is going to be mu1 and this is going to be mu2. Clear? Have you got this concept what we are doing? Now considering this as V1, I am going to make use of the same equation and put the values of your into that equation. Now here mu2 is the refractive index of the second media, which is going to be mu1 over here. Mu1 is the second media. Now this is the second media, no? And now this is your first media. So mu2 was what? The refractive index of the second media upon mu1 upon what is the V, that is the distance of the image, minus, now it is going to be mu2 upon what is the distance of the object, that is V dash. So it is just V dash, we have taken it as V dash. So it is going to be minus mu2 upon V dash. Now this is going to become mu1 minus mu2. Now it was R1 over here, now this will be R2. Now since both of them are same, it's not going to matter, it will be always the same. So from here we have had this equation 2 and this as equation 1. Okay. Now we have to eliminate this V dash because we had taken V dash as a temporary image. So we can eliminate V dash by adding both the equations. So by adding both the equations, what do we have? Mu1 upon V minus mu2 upon V dash plus mu2 upon V dash minus mu1 upon U is equal to mu1 minus mu2 upon R plus mu2 minus mu1 upon R. So you will see this particular part is getting cancelled and mu1 minus mu2, and you will have this relation over here, that is mu1 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to minus 1 upon R, and this can be written as 1 upon R1 and R2, right? It is, this part is R1 and this part is R2. So what is going to be common from this? That will be mu2 minus mu1, and this will be taken as mu minus mu1, and it would be 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So it's going to be 1 upon V minus 1 upon U, that is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So this is your equation. What I am going to get, I will just write it over here. So it is going to give me 1 upon V minus 1 upon U equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Is this clear now? So this is the equation which I am going to get, which is known as your Lensmaker's equation. But before we get into this Lensmaker's equation, right, there is one more thing that you have to see. Have you understood this part? Okay. Now, Now here we have to take one condition, and that is, if the condition is that if the point object is at infinity, the image will be formed at the focal point. That means if U is at infinity, V will be formed at the focal point. Are you getting this concept? We had this in our basic lenses. That is the situation that for in a lens, like in a concave mirror, if the object is placed at infinity, then the image will be placed at the focal length. And so we have this equation: if U is at infinity, V will be at F. If I substitute over here, you will have 1 upon F, 1 upon infinity is 0, will give me mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into 1 upon R1, 1 upon R2. Okay. This is my equation which I am going to get. Should I write it over here? I think it is not clear from here. So if U is at infinity, V is at this. So let me write down the equation over here. So it will give me 1 upon F is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. So this is the relation that you get, which is known as the Lensmaker's formula. So equating your equation 2 and 3, we get one more equation, that 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F. This is my fourth equation. Correct? So with the help of this derivation, which we did from the refraction on one curved surface, we have got two important equations, that is 1 upon F is equal to mu2 minus mu1 upon mu1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2, and the second one is 1 upon V minus 1 upon U is equal to 1 upon F. This we had derived from this particular equation by putting U equal to infinity and V equal to F. That means if the object is at infinity, the image will be at the focal length, right? If this is clear, you can make a note of this, right? Okay, so we had seen that in the last session how a lens equation is derived. So it is called as a Lensmaker's formula. In this Lensmaker's formula, we had seen the focal length of the lens that has to be derived or manufactured by a lens maker. He should know the radius of curvature, that is R1 and R2 of the two surfaces, and then he has to select the right refractive index of the glass, and he will be able to achieve the focal length that is as desired. Now once the lens is manufactured, the lens is made, we cannot change the radius of curvature nor the refractive index. Using the same focal length, we have to adjust our objects and the images that is obtained by the position of the object. We will get different types of images on the lens. Depending upon different applications, lenses are used in a very wide applications, starting from a simple microscope, that is just one lens and a magnifying lens, then a compound microscope using two lenses, then using a telescope by again using two lenses of different types. Then we have this spectacles that we wear, they are also different types of lenses. Okay, so we have nature of lenses like is which are convex lens, that means both the side there is a radius of curvature. Then concave lenses in which both the side it is concave, and then there is plano-convex, one side is plane, one side is other part is curved. That is a plano-concave lens, concave convex lens, convex concave lens. In these different varieties of the surfaces, by changing the type of surfaces, that is curved or flat, and internally curved, externally curved, we have various nature and types of lenses available. Once the length is available, it develops a kind of a focal length which is derived by the equation that we have done in our last session. Got it? Whichever may be the type of the lens, it is the lens maker's equation by which you are going to find the focal length of that respective lens. Now once that lens is made, we are going to study the various positions and the sizes and the nature of images which are formed. म्हणजे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे जे इमेजेस जे होणार आहेत बाय द पोझिशन ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट्स, ते आता आपण स्टडी करणार आहोत. दॅट इज द स्टडी ऑफ रे ऑप्टिक्स. ओके, सो हियर वी हॅव ऑन आवर बोर्ड 6 diagrams, and in these 6 diagrams, as you can see, we are using a convex lens. It is a convex lens. If this is, what is this type of a lens? This is a concave lens, right? So first, in the basic study, we are going to use a convex lens because this is a lens of utmost importance. ह्या लेन्सचा महत्व खूप आहे इन्स्ट्रुमेंट्स आणि अप्लायन्सेस मध्ये. बाकीच्या लेन्सेसचं पण आहे, पण ह्याच्यामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या पोझिशन्स, जे ऑब्जेक्टची जी पोझिशन्स आहेत, ऑब्जेक्ट म्हणजे दिस आर द ऑब्जेक्ट. आपण एखादं ऑब्जेक्ट इज अ लाईव्ह ॲक्च्युअल थिंग विच एक्झिस्ट, राईट? ह्याचं आपण एक इमेज बघतो. ते इमेज आपण मिररमध्ये बघू शकतो किंवा त्या लेन्सच्या थ्रू आपण बघतो. तर त्याचा लेन्समधनं बघितल्यावरती ह्या इमेजची साईज बदलत जाते, टाईप ऑफ इमेज बदलत जातो. तर ह्या सगळ्याचा आपण स्टडी करणार आहोत आजच्या ह्या चार्टमध्ये, की वेगवेगळ्या पोझिशन्सला जेव्हा आपण ह्या ऑब्जेक्टला ठेवतो तर त्याचा इमेज जो फॉर्म होतो तो कशा प्रकारे फॉर्म होतो आणि तो कुठल्या नेचरचा असतो. तर बघूया आपण हे फर्स्ट diagram, as you can see over here, that is about this lens. आणि इथे तुम्हाला दिसत असेल that the object is placed at infinity. इन्फिनिटीला जर असेल तर the lines which come, they are always parallel. So in this particular diagram, as you can see, the rays are coming parallel at infinity and the image is formed at the focal point. Where is the image formed? The image is formed at focal point. And how is the nature of image? The image is inverted. Means त्या infinity-ला that image will be of a larger size. Here it is highly diminished. It's the smallest size of the image will be formed at the focal length when the object is at infinity. त्यामुळे whenever you use a lens to focus the sunlight, you will see a very small spot of sun, right? That is the image of the sun, which is the very smallest, which creates lot of heat and it can burn a paper or a cotton ball, whatever is placed at the focus point. You might have done this experiment. If you have to do it, be careful because it catches fire. Okay, so this is your image that is created at the focal length when the object is placed at infinity. Is that part very clear? Now look at this, how the image is formed at the focal length. We know that there are various rules for ray diagram which we have studied in concave mirror when we had done mirrors, if you remember, in which what were the rules which were being followed. That I will just have a small small revision, a brief of that. Any object which is placed on the left hand side should be taken as negative. Any object which is positioned at the right hand side of this pole, the center of the lens here, that point is called as a pole, right? Any object which is below the principal axis is considered as negative. Any object or height which is above the principal axis is considered as positive. दुसरं, आता रेसच्या बद्दल आपण लॉ एक रिवाइज करू परत. एखाद्या ऑब्जेक्टमधनं रे जो बाहेर पडतो तो वेगवेगळ्या दिशेमधनं बाहेर पडतो. तो काय एकाच पॅरलल किंवा अँगलमध्ये असं नाही, ऑल डायरेक्शन्समध्ये बाहेर पडतो. ते जर मी ड्रॉ करायला गेलो तर एक डार्क सर्कल होईल. इतके रेस कुठल्याही पॉईंटपासनं, म्हणजे हा एक ऑब्जेक्ट आहे, ह्या ऑब्जेक्टच्या ह्या पॉईंट सगळ्या ज्या इनफायनाईट पॉईंट्स आहेत त्या सगळ्या पॉईंट्समधनं रेस असं स्पेरिकली बाहेर पडत असतात. आता एवढे आपण डायग्राम ड्रॉ करून दाखवू शकत नाही, त्यामुळे आपण फक्त एकच रे दाखवतो आणि त्यातले सिलेक्टेड रेस घेतो. मग सिलेक्टेड रेस कुठले, मग ते रेस आपण आपल्या कन्व्हिनियन्सप्रमाणे आपण घेऊ शकतो. मग त्यातला जो एक रे आपण घेतला आहे की जो 2 रेस, आपण एक रे जो आहे तो पोलमधनं पास होतोय आणि एक रे जो आहे तो ह्या फोकल पॉईंटपासून पास होतोय. जो रे फोकल पॉईंटपासून पास होतो, मिररमध्ये सुद्धा तुमच्या लक्षात आलं असेल, आफ्टर स्ट्रायकिंग द मिरर इट गोज पॅरलल टू द प्रिन्सिपल ॲक्सिस. इन द लेन्सेस अ रे विच पासेस थ्रू द फोकल पॉईंट आफ्टर रिफ्रॅक्शन it will go parallel to the principal axis. That is the first law of rays that has to be followed, whether it is mirror or it is lens. आलं लक्षात तुमच्या. जो रे, आता हे जो मी 2 रेज दाखवलेत, आउट ऑफ मिलियन्स ऑफ रेज ॲट डिफरंट अँगल्स विल बी फॉलिंग ऑन द लेन्स. मिलियन्स ऑफ रेज, खूप असतात रेस ते, आणि ते पडतात. ते आपण फक्त 2 रेस सिलेक्ट केलेत आपल्या कन्व्हिनियन्सप्रमाणे, कारण आपल्याला त्याचा इमेज ड्रॉ करायचा आहे. क्लिअर. सो त्यामुळे हे जे 2 रेज ह्याच्यातनं जे पास होतात, जो फोकल पॉईंटमधनं जो पास होणारा रे आहे, आफ्टर रिफ्रॅक्शन इट विल गो पॅरलल टू द प्रिन्सिपल ॲक्सिस. दॅट वॉज रूल नंबर 1. सेकंड रूल वॉज एनी रे विच इज पॉइंटेड टुवर्ड्स द पोल, if it was a mirror it would get reflected back in the same line. It would get reflected back in the same line. But here, because it is refraction, it will pass away in the same state without getting deflected. You see, हा रे या रिफ्रॅक्शन मधनं कुठेही रिफ्रॅक्ट होत नाहीये. It is passing straight. If that ray is directed towards that pole. Got it? In our old case, it was in the mirrors. It was that ray which was directed towards the radius of curvature. ते तुम्हाला आठवत असेल तर. Okay, so it is going to pass straightly through this particular part. Okay, now in the lenses that ray will be the ray passing through the pole which is going to go straight in the outside. So these 2 rays are sufficient for me to find one point. So me the ray going through the focal point which is going parallel over here, and the ray which is coming directed towards the pole going straight out of that will meet at this particular point, and where this point is going to be at the focal point. So the image in this particular case will be formed at the focal point. Is that clear? Okay, so this is our first. How is the image? It is inverted. Sorry, it is inverted. And what is the nature? Position is how much? Position is inverted. And what is the nature? The nature is, it is a real image. These are the 3 things that you have to understand when you are studying lenses or mirrors. What is the type of image it has been created? You should know this, like, very fluently, that if the object is over there, the image is going to be real, virtual, inverted, diminished, enlarged. Okay. Now let us shift the object from infinity and between infinity and 2f. Now here, what is this position called as 2f? 2f is twice of focal length. 2f is twice of focal length. That is this position, it is twice of focal length. So 2f will be there on both the sides. This is replaced by the radius of curvature when we were talking about curved mirrors. The radius of curvature was twice of f. Now in curved mirror there is only one radius, so therefore it was easier to have a radius of curvature. But focal length depends upon the lens maker's equation, in which we have one term R1 and R2. It is a combination of two radiuses. So we cannot take the radius of curvature of any one surface, right? The combination of that gives me the focal length, and so here we are using 2f instead of radius of curvature. Are you getting the difference? In the spherical mirror there is only one radius of curvature, so it is easier to take that as 2f. Not easier, that f is equal to half of radius of curvature. But here I cannot have one common radius because it is made up of two surfaces having two different radius. Therefore, this position is still there in the lens, but this position is not as a radius of curvature but as a position which is defined as 2f. Okay. So when the object is between infinity and 2f, again I am using the same two laws of ray. One which is passing parallel to the principal axis, after refraction will pass through the focal length. This is a very common law of ray which we had done in spherical mirrors also. Any ray which is parallel will, after reflection or refraction, reflection if it is a mirror, refraction if it is a lens, will always pass through the focal point. Any ray which is passing through the pole will go straight from that particular direction. In the mirror, any ray which was striking at the pole would symmetrically get reflected from that pole, if you remember. Now here, because it is not a mirror, it passes straight in that direction. So here I can see that the image is formed where? The image is formed between f and 2f, right? Where is the object? Object is between infinity and 2f. Image is formed between f and 2f. What is the nature of image? The nature is, it is a real image, right? And what is the position? It is inverted. It is inverted. That is the position of the image after getting refracted from this lens. So are you able to follow the ray diagram? How to construct that? Because this construction you should be knowing. Don't think that in your CET and JEE mains how are they going to ask us the construction, because you need not to draw, but they will give lot of figures in the MCQs as options and you have to point out the correct figure, but that you can do only if you know the laws of ray very properly. They might give certain confusing images and object position, but if you follow the law properly, then exactly from that law there will be one option which will be the correct diagram. Otherwise all the other diagrams will look very similar but they will be confusing. So therefore you need to know these laws very properly. That is how the ray passes and how the image is formed, right? Don't try to by heart, try to construct it while you are drawing also. You will see exactly, or if you are not using very precise instrument, generally the image will come like how we are describing. I am supposing that you are drawing this after watching the lecture. So this is the type of image. It is between 2f and infinity. The image is between f and 2f. So initially it was at f, now it has started going towards 2f. So this was 2f. So the image is started to move towards 2f as the image is coming from infinity towards 2f. Now look at this third position. Now what does this third position says? The object is at 2f. When the object is at 2f, can you see if the object is at 2f, what happens? The image is also at 2f. This is some situation which was there in the mirror. If the object was at radius of curvature, the image was also at the radius of curvature, correct? So this situation is similar to that of a concave mirror. Why I am every time referring to the concave mirror? So that when similarities are there, it is easier for you to remember. You don't have to think that I have to remember all the cases of a concave mirror, all the cases of a convex mirror. You will see that all the cases are similar as concave and convex for a mirror and for a lens. There it is a concave mirror, here it is a convex lens, correct? Here in that case it was reflection, in this case it is refraction. In that case image will be formed at the same side of the object, real image. Here real image will be formed at the other side of that object. Okay, so other than these differences, the positioning concept is same. So here what do we get? So here also we have, what is the nature of image? The image is formed at 2f, and where is the object? The object was also at 2f, right? Now what is the nature of image? Nature was real and position was inverted. And here we had seen one more thing, that the magnification it is diminished, means the size of the image is smaller than the size of the object. As you can see, it is diminished. In this particular case you can see the magnification is null. That means there is no magnification. It says that the height of object is equal to the height of image, right? When the object is at 2f and the image is also at 2f, you will see that the height of object is equal to the height of image. Now in the fourth diagram, what have we done? We have shifted the object now from 2f, between 2f and f. Again I am using the same ray diagram. What goes parallel will pass through the focal length and it will strike over here, and the ray which is passing through the pole will come and intersect over here, and so you get an image over here. Now what is the type of image you are getting? Now this image is magnified. How is this image? It is, image is magnified, right? And what is the nature of image? The nature is, it is a real image, and position is inverted. What is the position? The position of the image is inverted. Okay, so this is what you are going to see in this particular diagram. That is your fourth diagram, where the object is between 2f and f. The image is formed beyond 2f. It is formed between 2f and infinity. Sorry, this is not 2f over here. 2f will be over here. This is 2f. So this is beyond 2f. The image is formed beyond 2f. Okay, now coming to this fifth position. Now what is this fifth position? We are placing the object at the focal point. When I place the object at the focal point, you will see here that ultimately the rays will start going parallel. Going parallel means what? They are going to meet at infinity. You know that two parallel rays ultimately will meet at infinity. Therefore the image will be highly magnified. The image will be highly magnified and it will be still real. This is the last real image you are going to get when the object is at focal point. Okay, so here what is your situation? The image is at infinity, okay, where the object is at f. And how is the magnification? It is highly magnified. And what is the nature? What is the nature of this? I should be writing it over here. The nature is real. So what type of an image you are going to get? It is a real image. Okay. So when the object is at focal point, I am going to get a highly magnified image which is going to be real and it will be inverted. Okay, what is the position? Position will be inverted. The position will be inverted. the position is going to be inverted. Clear? Now this is our last situation where I am having the object between the focal point and the pole. When the object is between the focal line and the pole, as you can see from the ray diagram, that the rays after passing through the lens are not converging at particular point. This was the last situation, that it was making a parallel. All the other, as you see, the rays were what? Converging. So therefore it is called as a converging lens. All the rays are converging at a particular point. So this is called as a converging lens, because the rays ultimately, when they pass out from the lens, they are going to converge at a point, and whenever the rays converge, you get a real image. Got it? So here, as you can see, the rays are being parallel, and so therefore they are not going to meet. But if you look at this particular situation, you will see over here from the ray diagram, now they are getting diverging, and they are never going to meet on the opposite side, and so they are never going to form a real image. But what happens? The rays, they meet virtually on the same side of that lens of where the object is placed. And how do we get? You see, you get an image. First time you are going to get this image which is erect. It is highly magnified. So what is the nature? The image is magnified, then the position is erect. Okay, and where it is formed? It is formed between 2f and infinity. It is formed between 2f and infinity, and the nature is, it's a virtual image. It's a virtual image, right? It is highly magnified. The position is, it is erect and not inverted, and the nature is virtual. Okay, so all these positions of these lenses you should know very well, and because that gives you a brief idea while solving the problems. There are so many situations in which you may not have to use the numericals, right? How to use the numericals, that we are going to see in the subsequent sessions, but you might be expected to find the solution just by using or having the knowledge of the position of the object and the position of the image. You will never know in which question, from what context they are asking that particular solution. Okay, so you should be very thorough with the positions of the objects and the corresponding positions of the image for the lenses as well as for the mirrors, right? So draw this thing and make a chart and a note of all these situations as we have been writing that. Okay, so after seeing the different positions of objects in a convex lens, आपण आता बघूयात the same positions or the nature of image which will be formed with a concave lens. जेव्हा आपण concave lens म्हणतो तेव्हा आपण assume करतो की दोन्ही surface are concave. जेव्हा आपण फक्त convex lens म्हणतो तेव्हा both the surfaces are convex lens. Okay, कधी कधी ते double convex lens म्हणतात किंवा double concave lens म्हणतात. Okay, otherwise it will be plano convex, plano concave, convex concave, असे सगळे कॉम्बिनेशन्सचे वर्ड्स वापरले जातात त्यांच्यासाठी डिस्क्राइब करायला. पण आता आपण जे वापरतोय ते आता कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स आहे. तुम्ही बघू शकता, यू कॅन सी बोथ द साइड्स इट इज कॉन्केव्ह, आणि मग ह्याला आपण कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स म्हणतो. द कॉन्केव्ह लेन्समध्ये ह्याच्या स्टडीमध्ये बेसिकली कॉन्वेक्स सारखे असे वेगवेगळ्या पोझिशन्सची काही गरजच नाही आहे समजण्यासाठी. तुम्ही ऑब्जेक्टला कुठेही ठेवा, इन्फिनिटीला ठेवा, 2f ला ठेवा, f ला ठेवा, बिटवीन f अँड द लेन्सला ठेवा, त्याचा जो इमेज येणार आहे 100% एव्हरी टाइम इट इज गोइंग टू बी व्हर्च्युअल इमेज. त्याच्यापासून कधीच रिअल इमेज फॉर्म होत नाही. सो कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स लक्षात ठेवा, ऑल द इमेजेस विल ऑलवेज बी व्हर्च्युअल. सेकंड important property is that concave mirror you will always get a diminished image. त्याचं व्हर्च्युअल इमेज असतं आणि ते कधीच मॅग्निफाईड नसतं. त्यामुळे बऱ्याचशा प्रॉब्लेममध्ये तुम्हाला असं आढळून येईल, वेन दे आस्क यू द क्वेश्चन दे विल से दॅट इन अ सर्टन लेन्स, दे विल नॉट टेल यू विच लेन्स इट इज, अँड दे विल से दॅट द इमेज इज डिमिनिश्ड अँड इट इज virtual. The moment they use this word, it is diminished and virtual, it means it is a concave lens or a combination of convex and concave in which the concave part is much larger than the convex lens. You are getting me? म्हणजे लक्षात आलं ना मला काय म्हणायचं ते. तर जेव्हा कुठल्याही प्रॉब्लेममध्ये त्याचा असा उल्लेख केला जातो की एखाद्या लेन्स आहे आणि त्याचं इमेज व्हर्च्युअल आहे आणि ते डिमिनिश्ड आहे, 1/4 साईज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट आहे, ते डिमिनिश्ड पण वर्ड यूज नाही करणार, कारण डिमिनिश्ड म्हटलं की तुमचं लगेच क्लिक होऊन तुम्ही विचार करू शकता की हो कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स आहे. ते म्हणतील की त्याचा इमेज जो आहे तो ऑब्जेक्टपेक्षा 1/4 साईजला आहे, हाफ साईजला आहे, आणि मग पुढे अजून काही काही गोष्टी असतील. पण ह्या फक्त सेंटेन्सवरनं तुमच्या लक्षात आलं पाहिजे की जर ते डिमिनिश्ड आहे आणि व्हर्च्युअल आहे तर तो कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स आहे. सेकंड हिंट दे विल गिव्ह यू की तो डिमिनिश्ड आहे किंवा ते 1/4 ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट आहे किंवा हाफ ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट आहे आणि तो इरेक्ट आहे. इरेक्ट इमेजेस इन लेन्सेस हे नेहमीच व्हर्च्युअल असतात, कारण सगळे रिअल इमेजेस आर इन्व्हर्टेड. तर ह्या दोन गोष्टी लक्षात ठेवा in the description of this image about the lenses. So here आपण हेच सेम आपण रूल्स वापरणार आहोत. दिस इज युअर ऑब्जेक्ट अँड दिस इज युअर इमेज. आता ह्या ऑब्जेक्टवरनं दिस रे हॅज कम थ्रू दिस लेन्स अँड इट हॅज गॉट रिफ्रॅक्टेड अँड इट इज पासिंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. इट हॅज गॉट रिफ्रॅक्टेड अँड इट इज गोइंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. दिस रे इज पासिंग थ्रू द पोल अँड इट इज गोइंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की दोन्ही रे हे कॉन्व्हर्ज होत आहेत, सॉरी डायव्हर्ज होत आहेत, दे आर डायव्हर्जिंग. आणि डायव्हर्ज झाल्यामुळे ह्या साईडला ते कुठेच कधीच मीट होणार नाहीत. पॅरलल जर असते तर मे बी इन्फिनिटीला मीट झाली असते आणि तिथे रिअल इमेज फॉर्म झाला असता. पण बिकॉज दे आर इन अ डायव्हर्जिंग वे दे आर नेवर गोइंग टू मीट इन द ऑपोजिट साईड. मग अशा वेळेस आपण काय करतो, त्या रेजला आपण बॅकवर्ड ट्रेस करतो, त्याचे व्हर्च्युअल रेजला, आणि ते बॅकवर्ड ट्रेस केलं तर यू विल सी दॅट दे आर मीटिंग ॲट दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॉईंट अँड सो ॲट दिस पर्टिक्युलर पॉईंट एन इमेज इज फॉर्म्ड. बट ॲज अ रूल all images of a transparent material should be formed on the other side, but whenever the image is formed on the same side, that is also another hint that the image is virtual image. म्हणजे तसंच आपण जेव्हा मिररमध्ये आपण बघतो, सगळ्या ऑब्जेक्ट कुठेही ठेवल्यावरती इमेज त्याच साईडला आला पाहिजे, ह्याचाच अर्थ आहे मिरर रिफ्लेक्शन. पण एखाद्या मिररमध्ये जर इमेज त्याच्या मागच्या साईडला फॉर्म झाला, तो काय ट्रान्सपरंट आहे का मागच्या साईडला फॉर्म होण्यासाठी? नाही. बट अगेन्स्ट द लॉ जो मागच्या साईडला फॉर्म झाला तर तो व्हर्च्युअल इमेज होतो. आणि व्हर्च्युअल इमेजेस आपण कधीही कागदावरती किंवा एका स्क्रीनवरती आपण तो आणू शकत नाही. ओके, सो त्याच्यासाठी रिअल इमेजची गरज लागते. सो त्यामुळे तुम्ही जेव्हा कॅमेराजमधले तुम्ही लेन्स वापरतात तेव्हा त्याची जी इमेज असते ती आपल्याला रिअल इमेज लागते त्या फिल्मवरती फोकस करण्यासाठी. त्यामुळे त्यातलं आपण व्हर्च्युअल पोझिशन त्या ऑब्जेक्टचं घेऊ शकत नाही कॅमेरासाठी, कारण ते क्लिक होणार नाही, त्याच्यावरती इमेजच फॉर्म होणार नाही. आणि त्यामुळे कॅमेऱ्यातली इमेज आपल्याला दिसत नाही, पण ती ॲक्च्युली उलटी झालेली असते. वेन एव्हर यू पुट अ लेन्स द इमेज इज ऑलवेज इन्व्हर्टेड. ती नंतर आता डिजिटल कॅमेराजमध्ये ते डिजिटली नंतर परत ते इरेक्ट करतात, पण जेव्हा तिथे फॉर्म होते इमेज ती नेहमी इन्व्हर्टेड असते. राईट. सो दिस इज द पोझिशन ऑफ द कॉन्केव्ह मिरर. ॲट एनी गिवन पोझिशन इट विल ऑलवेज फॉर्म. ॲज यू कॅन सी इथे सुद्धा आपण एक पॅरलल रे करतोय आणि द इमेज, द लाईन should pass through the focal point. This is your focal point. This is, I am giving you a reference for drawing the diagram. Okay, कुठला तरी एक पॉईंट, फोकल पॉईंट घ्या अँड कुठे पण मी ऑब्जेक्ट ठेवलं तरी त्याचं इमेज येणार आहे ते व्हर्च्युअल असणार आहे आणि ते इरेक्ट असणार आहे. आणि थर्ड थिंग इज ते डिमिनिश्ड असणार आहे. हे असे सगळे तीन त्याचे पोझिशन्स आहेत, त्याचे प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत फॉर अ कॉन्केव्ह मिरर. या तर आपण आत्ता बघितलं वेगवेगळ्या पोझिशन्स ऑब्जेक्टची जी आपण लेन्स समोर ठेवून वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे इमेजेस आपल्याला जे मिळतात. आता आपण परत मागच्या सेक्शनमध्ये जाऊया. त्याच्या आधी जेव्हा आपण तो इक्वेशन डिराईव्ह केलं होतं, त्या इक्वेशनमध्ये आपल्याला एक लेन्स मेकर्स इक्वेशन जे आपण डिराईव्ह केलं होतं त्याच्यामध्ये 1/f वॉज इक्वल टू μ2 minus μ1 upon μ1 bracket 1/r1 minus 1/r2. This was the equation that we had derived. आता ह्या इक्वेशन वरनं अजून एक आपल्याला काही इक्वेशन्स जे आहेत व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इक्वेशन्स अबाउट लेन्सेस ते आपण स्टडी करणार आहोत आणि त्याचा आपल्याला कसा वापर करायचा आहे ते आपण समजून घेणार आहोत प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्हिंगमध्ये. आतापर्यंतची थिअरी आहे एक लेन्स, त्या लेन्सचा उपयोग काय होतो तो आपण बघितला. ऑब्जेक्ट आणि इमेजमध्ये मॅग्निफाय होतं, डिमिनिश्ड होतं, वॉट एव्हर. ते फिजिक्स झालं, त्याचं एक्सप्लेनेशन झालं. फिजिक्स झाल्यानंतर आता आपल्याला नेक्स्ट पार्ट त्याच्यामध्ये करावं लागतं ते इक्वेशनचं प्रूफ जे आपण केलेलं आहे ऑलरेडी आणि त्या इक्वेशनवरनं वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे प्रॉब्लेम्स सोडवणं हा आपला त्यातला दुसरा उद्देश आहे. तर आता ह्या इक्वेशनमध्ये आपण जे बघतो की 1/f इक्वल टू μ2 minus μ1 upon μ1 1/r1 minus 1/r2. Let us see what this equation means. That this equation is about a lens, right? ह्याचा आतला जो मटेरियल आहे दॅट इज μ2, जो बाहेर मीडिया आहे त्याचा रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स μ1 आहे. This part of the curvature is having radius r1 and this part of the radius is having curvature having radius r2, right? अशा ह्या कन्स्ट्रक्शनच्या लेन्समधनं आलेला हा इक्वेशन आहे, म्हणून ह्याला आपण म्हणतो लेन्स मेकर्स इक्वेशन. जेव्हा लेन्स मॅन्युफॅक्चरर असतो त्याला आपण सांगतो मला 26 सेंटीमीटर फोकल लेन्सचा लेन्स बनवून द्या. मग तो 26 फोकल लेन्ससाठी काय काय लागणार आहे तो मग स्वतःचं R1 आणि R2 डिसाईड करतो. त्याला जो करता येऊ शकतो की त्याच्याकडे साचे असतील, त्याच्याकडे काही टेम्पलेट्स असतील रेडियसेसचे आणि मग त्याचा रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स तो एका वेगळ्या प्रकारचा ग्लास वापरणार आहे. त्या ग्लासमध्ये सुद्धा वेगवेगळे प्रकार असतात, सगळ्यांचे रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्सेस वेगवेगळे असतात. तर तो त्याप्रमाणे ही विल सिलेक्ट अ रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स, ही विल डिसाइड अपॉन द रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर अँड एक्झॅक्टली मेक अ लेन्स ऑफ द फोकल लेंथ विच यू हॅव आस्क्ड हिम टू मेक. Now after making this focal length, we cannot change any of these parameters. This is going to be fixed. Now this lens is going to be used in various different arrangements. जे आपण मागच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये बघितलंच की वेगवेगळ्या ऑब्जेक्टला कुठे कसे इमेजेस फॉर्म होतात आणि ते कसे कुठे पोझिशन होतात आणि त्याचं नेचर काय असतं ते. आता ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्ही त्या अंदाजाने नेचर मिळालं, त्याचं नेचर आपल्याला लक्षात आलं की ते बिटवीन इन्फिनिटी आणि 2f जर असलं तर तो इमेज जो असतो तो f आणि 2f मध्ये असतो. आता आपल्याला एक्झॅक्टली कुठल्या पॉईंटला असतं हे काढायचं आहे. म्हणजे इन्फिनिटीला असल्यावरती फोकल लेंथला होतो हा विषय जर वेगळा ठेवल्यावर आपण बाजूला जर ठेवला तर इन्फिनिटी अँड 2f मध्ये दॅर इज सम पोझिशन नो विथ रेफरन्स टू द लेन्स. इट इज गिवन इन व्हॅल्यूज. कुठल्या तरी एक व्हॅल्यू दिली असते ना, 10 सेंटीमीटर, 25 सेंटीमीटर, 100 सेंटीमीटर. मग अशा वेळेस त्याचं इमेज कुठे फॉर्म होतं हे एक्झॅक्टली इन सेंटीमीटर्समध्ये आपल्याला आलं पाहिजे. आता आपण जर रे डायग्राम एका ग्राफ पेपरवरती ड्रॉ करत राहिलो तर आपल्याला इमेजचं डिस्टन्स मिळेल पण ते परफेक्ट नसणार आहे. त्यामुळे आपण इक्वेशनचा उपयोग करणार आहोत. आपल्या सिलेबसमधला जो मेन भाग आहे तो इक्वेशनचा वापर करून आपल्याला पोझिशन ऑफ इमेजचा एक्झॅक्ट व्हॅल्यू काढायची आहे. किंवा कदाचित ते पोझिशन ऑफ इमेज देतील आणि ते म्हणतील तुम्हाला पोझिशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट त्याच्यापासून तुम्ही काढा. करेक्ट. पण त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी ते तुम्हाला ते हिंट्ससुद्धा देतात प्रॉब्लेममध्ये. पण ते हिंट्सला घेऊन त्याच्या आधारे आपल्याला त्याचं राईट इक्वेशन वापरून, इनफॅक्ट त्याचं इक्वेशन एकच आहे, 2 इक्वेशन्स आहेत जे आता आपण मांडणार आहोत. ते इक्वेशन्सला वापरून आपण त्याची पोझिशन्सची एक्झॅक्ट व्हॅल्यू काढणार आहोत. ओके. तर ते इक्वेशन्स काय आहेत ते आता आपण बघू. ह्याच्यामध्ये 1/f इज इक्वल टू 1/v minus 1/u. This is your equation for applying the position of image and object. याच्यामध्ये once you have this particular equation, f, v and u आत्ता ह्या इक्वेशन मध्ये they are in the form of variables. Okay. This equation is applicable to all the type of lenses. Convex, convex, concave, concave, म्हणजे दोन्ही साइड आर कॉन्केव, बोथ द साइड आर convex, that is double convex, double concave, convex concave. आता कॉन्व्हेक्स कॉन्केव्ह आणि कॉन्केव्ह कॉन्व्हेक्स याला काय अर्थ नाही, त्या लेन्सला उलटं केलं की ते तीच लेन्स कॉन्व्हेक्स आणि कॉन्केव्ह होते. सो लेट अस हॅव वन कॉम्बिनेशन दॅट इज कॉन्व्हेक्स अँड कॉन्केव्ह. मग प्लॅनो कॉन्व्हेक्स आणि प्लॅनो कॉन्केव्ह अशा टिपिकली 4 टाईपचे लेन्सेस असतात. आणि अजून एक असतं की कॉन्व्हेक्स कॉन्केव्ह बट डिफरंट रेडियस. हे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे जरी आपण शेप्सचे आपण लेन्सेस बनवले तरी सगळ्यांना एकच इक्वेशन आहे आणि दिस इज दिस इक्वेशन. लेन्स मेकर फॉर्म्युला पण हा इक्वेशन आणि ह्याचा पण हा इक्वेशन. आलं लक्षात? पण त्याच्यामध्ये त्याचे जे रेडियसेस आहेत त्याचा आपण जो साइन कन्व्हेन्शन्स आपण जी स्टडी केली होती मिरर्समध्ये सुद्धा आणि लेन्सेसमध्ये सुद्धा आपण जे बघितलं होतं, द साइन कन्व्हेन्शन्स आर द सेम. त्याचा इम्पॉर्टन्स खूप हाय आहे इन सॉल्विंग द प्रॉब्लेम्स. म्हणजे तुम्ही जे त्याचे जी व्हॅल्यूज तुम्ही जे याच्यामध्ये इनपुट करणार आहात त्या व्हॅल्यूज इनपुट करताना त्याचं सायन्स तुमच्या लक्षात घेणं हे खूप इम्पॉर्टंट आहे. कारण जेव्हा हा प्रॉब्लेम येतो तेव्हा तुमच्याकडे इक्वेशन तुमच्या लक्षात राहतं. हा इक्वेशन विसरण्यासारखा नाही आहे, त्यामुळे तुमच्या तो लक्षात पण राहील. मग लगेच घाई होते आपल्याला ज्यात व्हॅल्यू टाकून आन्सर काढण्याची आणि आपण सायन्सकडे दुर्लक्ष करतो. ओके, तर त्याचा इम्पॉर्टन्स जो आहे तो तुम्हाला मी आता सांगतोय. जोपर्यंत हा अननोन असतो व्हेरिएबल तोपर्यंत जरी आपल्याला कळलं की कॉन्व्हेक्स लेन्स, आता कॉन्व्हेक्स लेन्सला whenever we use convex lens, f focal length is always positive and concave lens ला focal length is always negative. हे आपल्याला जरी माहीत असलं तरी ह्याला f ला -f लिहायचं नाही. करेक्ट? कारण त्यांनी आपल्याला फोकल लेंथ दिलेली आहे का? जर त्यांनी दिलं असेल दॅट इज अ कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स हुज फोकल लेंथ इज 25 सेंटीमीटर, देन जेव्हा आपण इक्वेशनमध्ये सबस्टिट्यूट करताना -25 म्हणून सबस्टिट्यूट करायचं कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स असेल तर. आणि जर कॉन्व्हेक्स लेन्स असेल विथ अ फोकल लेंथ 25 त्यावेळेस सबस्टिट्यूट करताना ते +25 म्हणून सबस्टिट्यूट करायचं. तोपर्यंत त्या व्हेरिएबल्सच्या साईनला हात लावायचा नाही. त्या व्हेरिएबल्सच्या साईन्स चेंज तेव्हाच करायचे जेव्हा एखादा आपण कॉन्स्टंट किंवा त्याची व्हॅल्यू आपण तिथे इन्सर्ट करतो किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये सबस्टिट्यूट करतो त्या व्हेरिएबलच्या ऐवजी, त्यावेळेला सायन्सचा वापर करायचा. जरी तुम्हाला कळलं असेल की ही लेन्स कॉन्केव्ह आहे तरी इथे -f असं लिहायचं नाही. इट इज f अँड आय डू नॉट नो. उत्तरामध्ये बरोबर तुम्हाला f इक्वल टू मायनस समथिंग येईल इफ इट इज अ कॉन्केव्ह मिरर. सो द रिझल्ट विल टेल यू द आन्सर ऑफ f इज पॉझिटिव्ह और नेगेटिव्ह. जर आन्सर नेगेटिव्ह आलं तुम्हाला जरी माहीत असलं तरी ते आन्सर शुड टेल यू दॅट इट इज अ कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स बिकॉज ऑफ द नेगेटिव्ह साइन इन द आन्सर. आलं लक्षात? सो इक्वेशन सिम्पल आहेत पण त्याचं तुम्हाला खूप केअर घेतली पाहिजे त्याचे सायन्सचं नोटेशन्स टाकण्याच्या दृष्टीने. आता ह्याच्यामध्ये अजून एक इम्पॉर्टंट इक्वेशन ह्याच्यामध्ये घ्यावं लागतं आणि दॅट इज अबाउट द मॅग्निफिकेशन m इक्वल टू v/u. तुम्हाला आठवत असेल आपण मिररमध्ये जेव्हा आपण हे इक्वेशन घेतलं होतं तेव्हा इट वॉज -v/u. मिररचं इट इज ऑलवेज -v/u आणि लेन्सेससाठी इट इज +v/u. ह्या गोष्टी तुमच्या लक्षात ठेवायच्या. मिररच्या इक्वेशनमध्ये इट वॉज 1/v + 1/u बट हिअर इट इज 1/v -1/u. ह्या मिरर आणि लेन्सेसचे जे डिफरन्सेस आहेत हे तुमच्या लक्षात आले पाहिजे. नाव मॅग्निफिकेशनचा अजून एक इक्वेशन आहे ते पण तुमच्या लक्षात आलं पाहिजे, म्हणजे वापरता आलं पाहिजे तुम्हाला. दॅट इज हाईट ऑफ इमेज अपॉन height of object. This is another equation that is for magnification. हे सुद्धा आपण मिररमध्ये वापरलेलं आहे. ओके, सो वन इक्वेशन आपण त्याला आपण इथनं 1 चालू करू. सो दिस इज 1, दिस इज 2, दिस इज 3 and this is 4. These are the 4 equations we are going to use to solve the problems of position of object and image for any given lens, whichever lens it may be. Okay, त्याच्यामध्ये समजा जर त्यांनी कॉन्व्हेक्स लेन्स म्हणाले आणि त्याची व्हॅल्यू दिली असेल तर कॉन्व्हेक्स लेन्स म्हणाले म्हणजे ती फोकल पॉईंट त्याचं पॉझिटिव्ह असलं पाहिजे. कॉन्केव्ह लेन्स जर त्याचा जर उल्लेख केला असेल प्रॉब्लेममध्ये तर याचा अर्थ त्या फोकल पॉईंटची व्हॅल्यू दिली असते आणि ते कॉन्केव्ह म्हणतात, ते मायनस सांगत नाहीत, पण आपण इक्वेशनमध्ये टाकताना त्याचं मायनसचं रूपांतर करून त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला टाकायचं आहे. ओके, सो हे झालं आपल्या इक्वेशन्सचं. परत सांगतो, इक्वेशन दिसायला खूप सोपे, सिंपल आणि इनोसंट दिसत आहेत, पण त्याचे सायन्समध्ये तुम्हाला खूप त्याची काळजी घ्यावी लागेल when you are going to start using this in your problems. Okay.